Hey everyone, I'm here with another Read Aloud from Miss Rachael. Today I have a very familiar book, probably to you. This is called Where the Wild Things Are. This book is written and illustrated by Marie Sendak. Now, something interesting about this book is that it was written in 1963 and it is still really popular today. I'm going to ask you some questions as we go through this book. Maybe some before and after. If you'd like to write down some of your answers and send them to me, I would love to hear what you're thinking about as you listen to this book today. Where the Wild Things Are. So my first question is, why do you think this book is so popular still today in 2020 when it was written in 1963? Is it the illustrations? Is it the story? Is it relatable? What do you think? Where the Wild Things Are. Love this inside cover. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another, his mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. Notice what his room looks like. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. Sorry. And grew. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day, and in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars, and gnashed their terrible teeth, and rolled their terrible eyes, and showed their terrible claws. So I'm noticing Marie Sendak is using some repetition in this book where they're showing all these terrible things, but I really like these verbs or these action words that they roared, they gnashed, and they rolled, and they showed. These are really good action words. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once, and they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all, and made him king of all wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." Now, I've got a question for you. What do you think a wild rumpus is? We'll see what he means in just a minute. He's dancing under the stars and the moon. Looks like he might be singing. I wonder what his song sounds like. Swinging in the trees. Look at how these monsters all have different kinds of parts. This looks like a chicken foot. This looks like a fox's tail. My son Samuel thinks that the ones with long hair are girls. We're going on a parade, maybe. "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without eating their supper. That sounds like some other part of the story, right? And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. So I've got a question for you now that this is done. His mom sent him to bed, or sent him to his room without his food. Then he goes and travels in and out of weeks. Week is 7 days. And he comes back and his food is still hot. Where do you think he went? And why was his food still hot? Got some questions for you there. Now, I have a challenge for you. If you're interested in doing an activity after this book is done. Now, you see that Max wears that crown. I thought it would be fun because at our house, Samuel is really into making crowns. We took just a box and just cut it up and made a crown. We've also made crowns out of just brown paper bags. You could make a crown, take a picture of it, take a picture of you wearing it and send it to me. I'd love to see what you're doing at home. So I look forward to hearing from you. I hope you enjoyed the story today. Bye.